Thank you for choosing Wisdom of the Dharma. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you never miss a new update. Your support helps us keep sharing powerful, life-changing wisdom with the world. And don't forget to drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's grow and learn together. Part 1. The hidden code you've always carried. Have you ever felt different? Not broken. Not wrong. Just different. Like there's a quiet rhythm inside you that no one else seems to hear. A pull toward certain people, places, or patterns that repeat again and again, without explanation. Some doors open for you with ease, while others stay closed no matter how hard you knock. You're not imagining it. That pull, that pattern, it has a name. And strangely enough, it may be hiding in the last digit of your birth year. Yes, just that single number at the end of your birth year could be the spiritual fingerprint of your karma, the energetic signature of what you came to learn, break, and build in this lifetime. In Buddhism, we're taught that nothing is random. Not the family you were born into. Not the country, not the time, not even the name you were given. And certainly not your year of birth. According to ancient Dharma teachings and modern spiritual insight, every number is more than a symbol. It's a vibration, a frequency that carries the blueprint of your soul's work. And the last digit? That's your personal key. In this journey, we're going to explore what each number from 0 to 9 truly means, not in a generic, horoscope kind of way, but through the lens of karmic wisdom and practical transformation. You'll discover what challenges you were born to overcome, what gifts you already carry, and why certain life patterns seem to follow you, no matter how far you run. And this isn't just about you. If you open your heart, you'll begin to see how this energy shapes everyone around you, your partner, your children, your friends, your boss. It's not a coincidence. There's a sacred map underneath it all. So before we begin, take a deep breath. Let go of skepticism. Let go of control. Let your soul be curious. Just for a moment. Because what we're about to explore isn't simply numerology. It's memory. Of who you were. Of why you came. And of what you're still here to do. If this kind of wisdom resonates with you, if you're the kind of person who's been quietly seeking deeper truths, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Wisdom of the Dharma, and leave a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. You're not here by accident. And neither is that number at the end of your birth year. Let's begin. Part 2, Buddhism and Numbers, the energy behind the digits. In the West, we're taught that numbers are logical. They measure time, distance, money, and age. They sit quietly on clocks and spreadsheets, following rules, never questioning anything. But in Buddhism, and in many ancient wisdom traditions, numbers are alive. They're not just measurements, they are messengers. Each one holds a vibration, a spiritual tone, a resonance that, when understood, unlocks deeper meaning in our lives. Let's take a step back. In Buddhist philosophy, everything is made of energy. You, me, this screen, the sound of your breath, all are manifestations of impermanent patterns of vibration. The Buddha taught us that nothing arises independently. Everything is connected by karma, intention, and the constant dance of cause and effect. So when you were born, on a very specific date, in a very specific year, that wasn't just a lucky spin of the wheel. It was a result of karmic timing. A convergence of past actions and spiritual readiness. A moment in which your soul entered a new cycle of lessons. And the final digit of that year? It's not random. It's a spiritual code, a shorthand for the specific kind of energy you carry with you through this lifetime. This is not superstition. It's not fortune telling. It's about pattern recognition. The same way the moon affects the tides and the time of day affects your mood, the numerical vibration tied to your year of birth can influence the types of challenges you attract, the relationships you form, and even the inner voice that speaks to you when you're most alone. In Tibetan Buddhism, numerology is sometimes used by monks when choosing auspicious dates for rituals, initiations, or meditations. But even more importantly, numbers are used to reflect qualities of the mind. For example, the number 1st of May represent bold karmic initiation. The number 5th of May mirror restlessness and craving. The number 9 often signals the closing of old cycles. Each digit points to a kind of Dharma, a specific spiritual work your soul signed up for. Understanding your number isn't meant to limit you. It's meant to liberate you. To show you what you're here to transform, not avoid. Because when we ignore our patterns, they own us. But when we name them with clarity and compassion, they begin to dissolve. So, as we begin to explore each digit in the next chapters, remember this. This is not about math. This is about meaning. The kind that lives between your thoughts, behind your choices, and within your breath. Ready to meet the energy that's been walking beside you since the moment you were born? Let's continue. Part 3, Digits of Dharma, 0 to 2, Rebirth, Leadership, and Harmony. Every soul carries a frequency, and the last digit of your birth year is its echo. Let's begin with the first 3 vibrations, 0, 1, and 2. Each one holds a distinct path of transformation, initiative, or emotional harmony. Number 0, the Dharma of emptiness and rebirth. In Buddhist philosophy, 0 is not nothingness. It's pure potential, the field before form, the silence before sound. If your birth year ends in 0, you've likely experienced more endings and beginnings than most. It may feel like your life is one long series of chapters closing and reopening. This isn't instability, it's spiritual evolution. You came into this life with the energy of the void, where all transformation begins. You might change careers, beliefs, or relationships multiple times, not because you're lost, but because you're called to rebirth yourself over and over. That's your Dharma, to die to what no longer serves and be reborn into alignment. Real life example? Think of someone like Maya, a woman who worked in corporate finance for 15 years, only to give it all up after a personal crisis and become a trauma healer. Her friends said she was reinventing herself. But in truth, she was finally remembering herself. You are the cycle incarnate. Your power is in surrendering to change. Number 1, the Dharma of the pioneer. Number 1 carries the energy of bold beginnings. If you were born under this number, you likely felt from an early age that no one else was going to do things for you, you had to go first. People with this energy are initiators, leaders, trailblazers. But the path is often lonely. You're not afraid to act, but sometimes that courage is mistaken for arrogance or control. What's really underneath is the soul's desire to create impact, to build, to lead, to move the needle. You may often feel like you're pushing forward while others hesitate. But remember, the pioneer doesn't wait for the map. They become the map. Real story? Take Brandon, who started a non-profit to support youth mental health at age 19 after his own struggles with depression. He didn't wait for permission. He created what didn't exist, and in doing so, changed thousands of lives. Your greatest Dharma is knowing when to lead, and when to listen. Number 2, the Dharma of harmony and compassion. If your number is 2, you came here to bring peace into chaos. You are the bridge between extremes, the calm in emotional storms. And sometimes, that burden feels invisible. You've probably been called too sensitive, But your sensitivity is your superpower. You sense what's unspoken. You soothe what's wounded. From childhood, you may have been the peacemaker in your family, the one who kept things together while silently carrying your own pain. But the spiritual challenge of the two is learning this. Compassion is not self-erasure. You don't have to dim your light to let others shine. True harmony begins within. Take Anna, a school counselor who always puts others first, until she reached burnout. Her journey back to self-care became a lesson in healthy boundaries. Now, she teaches emotional resilience not from sacrifice, but from balance. You're not weak. You're strong in the gentlest way. We've only just begun to unlock the meanings behind these soul numbers. But already, you may see yourself, or someone close to you, reflected in these vibrations. In the next section, we'll explore the creative fire of number 3 and the grounded strength of number 4. The dance between expression and structure is about to begin. Let's continue. Part 4, Digits of Dharma, 3 to 4, Creative Expression and Inner Stability. The universe expresses itself in both chaos and order. Some souls are born to create light, others to build foundations that hold that light steady. If your birth year ends in 3 or 4, you are either a channel for joyful inspiration or a quiet architect of stability. These two energies may seem opposite, but in truth, they complete each other. One expands, the other grounds. Let's look closely at what these vibrations reveal. Number 3, the Dharma of creative radiance. If your number is 3, you likely bring joy wherever you go, even when your own heart is quietly aching. This number carries the frequency of creativity, expression, and emotional intelligence. You're the friend who lifts everyone's spirits, the artist who finds beauty in the ordinary, the speaker who says what others feel but can't express. But behind your light is a deep well of emotion that not everyone sees. The challenge of the 3 is depth. You may jump from project to project, fueled by inspiration but prone to burnout. People see your brilliance, but they don't always see how much you need stillness, rest, and space to feel. Think of Daniel, a stand-up comedian who spent years making people laugh while silently struggling with depression. Only when he turned his pain into storytelling did his art become a tool for healing, not just for others, but for himself. Your soul lesson? Don't just express, transform. Joy isn't just for others. It's your medicine too. Number 4, the Dharma of sacred structure. The energy of 4 is grounding, steady, dependable. If this is your number, you're someone others rely on, not just for comfort, but for clarity. You are the planner, the builder, the one who creates systems where chaos once lived. You may have been called rigid or too serious, but beneath that structure is a desire to protect what matters: family, values, purpose. As a child, you may have felt the need to grow up quickly, to take care of others, to be strong. And while that strength is real, it can become a mask, a wall that prevents you from asking for help or exploring new paths. Emma, a corporate executive with a 4 vibration, spent decades in one career because it was stable, even though it no longer sparked her soul. Her spiritual breakthrough came when she realized that true security isn't in routine, it's in alignment. Your Dharma is to build, but to build with flexibility. The strongest foundations bend, not break. The numbers 3 and 4 dance between emotion and logic, fluidity and form. As we move forward, we'll explore the restlessness of number 5 and the deep compassion of number 6, energies that stretch the soul between freedom and service. Let's continue. Part 5, Digits of Dharma, 5 to 6, Freedom and the Weight of Compassion. Some souls are born to wander. Others, to carry. The numbers 5 and 6 represent two powerful but contrasting energies, one that craves movement, and one that finds meaning in devotion. If your birth year ends in one of these numbers, your journey will likely involve either learning to stay or learning to let go. These numbers teach us about expansion, responsibility, and the boundaries between self and others. Number 5, the Dharma of sacred freedom. If your number is 5, you are the wind, restless, curious, impossible to contain. People with this energy are natural explorers. They crave variety, change, adventure. Stagnation suffocates them. From a young age, you may have found school, routine, or traditional roles restrictive. You feel most alive when you're discovering something new, a place, a passion, or a part of yourself. But this freedom comes with a price: impulsivity, inconsistency, burnout. You might abandon good things too quickly or say yes to everything until you feel scattered and overwhelmed. Your soul's challenge is to learn that true freedom requires direction. Lena, a freelance photographer with this vibration, spent years chasing opportunities across continents. But she felt emotionally unanchored, until she committed to grounding her life around one core value: connection. Her creativity didn't die, it deepened. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be fully present where you are. Number 6, the Dharma of compassionate responsibility. Number 6 carries the energy of the heart. If this is your number, you're likely the caregiver, the emotional anchor, the one everyone leans on, often without even asking if you're okay. From childhood, you may have felt responsible for the emotional well-being of those around you. You instinctively offer help, support, and comfort. Your love is unconditional, and your empathy is vast. But so is your exhaustion. The lesson of 6 is learning that caring doesn't mean carrying. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say no. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take Marcus, a nurse who gave everything to his patients and family, until burnout left him bedridden. His healing began when he stopped trying to save everyone and started nurturing himself with the same compassion he gave others. Your soul's power isn't in sacrifice. It's in sustainable love. When you care for yourself first, your presence becomes a healing force, without effort. The numbers 5 and 6 stretch us between the call of the open road and the sacred duty of service. Both are noble. Both require wisdom. Next, we'll explore the depth of number 7, the seeker of truth, and the drive of number 8, the builder of legacies. The inner and outer worlds are about to meet. Let's continue. Part 6, Digits of Dharma, 7 to 8, the seeker and the builder of balance. Some souls are drawn inward, into silence, questions, and spiritual depth. Others are driven outward, toward results, structure, and power. The energies of 7 and 8 sit on opposite ends of the spectrum, the inner seeker and the outer builder. But when balanced, they mirror the two wings of the Dharma: wisdom and skillful action. Let's explore what these numbers mean if one of them has marked your birth year. Number 7, the Dharma of the inner path. If your number is 7, your soul came to look within. This is the number of spiritual inquiry, solitude, and inner truth. From a young age, you may have felt different, uninterested in surface-level goals, more attuned to deeper meaning. You likely asked questions others ignored. Why are we here? What is real? Who am I, really? People with this vibration are thinkers, mystics, teachers. But the spiritual challenge of the 7 is isolation. You may retreat too far, confusing wisdom with withdrawal. You crave authenticity, but fear being misunderstood. Eli, a software engineer turned meditation teacher, carried this number. After years of chasing status, He walked away from it all, not out of failure, but to find silence. His real success came when he used his insight to help others awaken. Your path is sacred. But don't forget, enlightenment is not found in escape. It's found in presence. In connection. In being human. Number 8, the Dharma of manifestation and mastery. If your number is 8, you were born to build, and not just in the material sense. This number is the vibration of leadership, achievement, and power. You likely feel a deep inner drive to succeed, not for ego, but because your soul craves impact. You want to leave something behind. You want to make things happen. But this force can become a trap. When you over-identify with control or status, you may lose touch with what truly matters. Burnout, disillusionment, or even spiritual emptiness can follow if you don't balance your external efforts with inner alignment. Nina, a high-powered executive, once believed that winning meant everything. Until a health crisis forced her to stop. She began meditating, downsized her life, and restructured her business around soul-centered leadership. Her influence didn't shrink, it expanded. You are meant to manifest with meaning. Don't chase wealth. Channel it. Don't dominate. Inspire. When aligned, your presence becomes a force of sacred creation. The Seeker and the Builder, 7 and 8, remind us that spiritual growth isn't about choosing between the inner and outer world. It's about weaving them together. In the next part, we'll explore the final vibration, number 9, the old soul, the healer, the one who closes cycles. Let's continue. Part 7, Digit 9, Closing Cycles and the Compassionate Elder. If your birth year ends in 9, your soul carries one of the rarest and most powerful vibrations of all, the energy of completion. In Buddhist terms, this is the vibration of the Bodhisattva, the one who returns not just to evolve, but to help others evolve. People with this mark often feel older than their age. Even as children, they sense things others don't. They notice pain that others ignore. They care too deeply, cry too easily, and feel responsible for healing what they didn't break. This deep empathy is not weakness. It's a sign that your soul has lived many lifetimes. You didn't come here to climb ladders or accumulate possessions. You came to close karmic loops. To transform inherited wounds. To become a light where others see only loss. But this burden can feel heavy. You may experience grief early in life, through loss, betrayal, or the feeling of not quite belonging. You might be the one others run to in crisis, even while you secretly struggle to hold your own heart together. That's the paradox of the 9, the healer who often forgets to heal themselves. Take Joanne, a grief counselor who lost her son in a tragic accident. In her pain, she withdrew from the world, until one day, a neighbor in mourning knocked on her door. That encounter led her to found a local support group. In time, she became a spiritual guide for dozens of families facing loss. She didn't erase her sorrow, she alchemized it. That's the sacred potential of the 9. You are here to transcend personal suffering by turning it into service. But remember, compassion isn't martyrdom. You're not here to carry everyone's pain. You're here to shine a light so they can carry their own with courage. The challenge of the 9 is knowing when to step back. When to rest. When to say, I've done enough. Because your work, by its nature, is invisible. You may never get the recognition you deserve. But your presence changes lives in ways no one can fully articulate. Your Dharma is not to build or chase, it's to complete, to forgive, to release. You are the soul who ties the loose ends, who blesses the final page before the book is closed. When you speak, your words carry the weight of lifetimes. When you love, your love is ancient. And when you let go, you give others permission to do the same. If 9 is your number, Honor the fact that you came here not at the beginning of a story, but at the turning point. You are the elder energy, the sacred closer. And the world needs your wisdom more than ever. Part 8, Patterns and People. Seeing numbers in others. Now that you've learned what your number means, try this. Think about your partner, your children, your parents, your closest friends. What's the last digit of their birth year? You may be surprised to realize just how much these subtle vibrations explain about the people in your life. Their patterns, their wounds, the way they love, the way they disappear when things get tough, or show up when no one else does. It's all part of their soul's energy. Buddhism teaches us that we are all connected through karma, not just from this lifetime, but from many before. And often, the people we're closest to aren't just part of our life by chance. They're part of a shared energetic contract. Sometimes to love. Sometimes to teach. Sometimes to challenge. Always to grow. Understanding someone's number can shift your entire relationship with them. Maybe your emotionally distant father was a number 7, an inward seeker, not a natural talker. Maybe your partner is a 2, constantly absorbing everyone's feelings, silently overwhelmed. Maybe your child is a number 5, born to explore, not to follow the rules you cling to. When you recognize their energy for what it is, not a flaw, not a rejection, but a frequency, your heart softens. You stop trying to fix them and start learning how to meet them where they are. Let's say your spouse is a number 8, and you're a 3. You value spontaneity, joy, expression. They prioritize structure, success, results. Without this awareness, your differences might look like incompatibility. But through the lens of Dharma, you can see, they are here to build, and you are here to inspire. You are not at odds. You are complementary forces. Or imagine you're raising a child with a number 9. They feel deeply, they cry often, they seem weighed down by things you don't understand. You may worry they're too sensitive for this world. But knowing their soul came to close cycles, to transform pain into compassion, you shift from fear to reverence. You stop trying to toughen them up, and instead begin to protect their softness. This is the power of seeing numbers in others. It's not about labeling. It's about understanding. It's about loving more clearly. We spend so much time asking, why are they like this? But maybe the better question is, what are they here to learn, and what can I learn from them? Because once you understand how others are wired spiritually, your relationships don't just get easier, they become sacred. And when we can hold each other with that level of compassion, the whole world starts to heal. Part 9, True Stories from the Dharma Path. These teachings aren't just theory. They live in people, ordinary lives transformed by extraordinary awareness. Let me share 2 real-world stories that show how recognizing one's number can unlock healing, purpose, and inner peace. Story 1, Olivia, the Masked Joy, number 3. Olivia was a bright presence. The kind of person who always knew what to say at a party, who made others laugh effortlessly. She worked as a children's entertainer and loved her job, until one day, she came home and collapsed in tears. Alone, she was anxious, empty, and deeply lonely. When she discovered that her birth year ended in 3, the number of expressive energy and emotional depth, it clicked. Her talent for joy wasn't fake. It was sacred. But her shadow was avoidance. She was using humor to run from grief she never processed after losing her brother years before. With support, Olivia began writing and performing one-woman shows that explored grief and laughter side by side. Her vulnerability became her art. Today, people don't just laugh with her, they heal. Her joy stopped being a mask. It became her medicine. Story 2, Harold, the Quiet Healer, number 9. Harold was a retired veteran in his late 60s, living alone in rural Oregon. His wife had passed years ago. His only daughter lived far away. Though kind and generous, Harold kept to himself, volunteering at the local food bank, fixing bikes for kids, donating anonymously. When a Buddhist neighbor introduced him to the meaning of the number 9, his own number, Harold wept. It explained the ache he had carried since childhood, the sense of purpose that never fit into words. He began journaling, then mentoring teens at the local community center. He didn't give grand advice. He just listened, deeply, fully. Many said Harold became like a grandfather they never had. He realized he hadn't been drifting through life. He'd been completing cycles, quietly passing on wisdom through action, not applause. There are thousands of stories like Olivia's and Harold's. And maybe yours is one of them. Because the moment we recognize our number is often the moment we stop running and start remembering. Up next, we'll explore why your soul chose this number in the first place, and how this choice reflects your karmic agreement before birth. Let's continue. Part 10, Why You Chose This Number, the Dharma Hidden in Your Birth. You didn't land on this earth by accident. And you didn't draw that final digit in your birth year like a random lottery number. According to deep Buddhist teachings, your soul chose it, consciously, intentionally, with purpose. Before birth, the soul surveys the karma it has accumulated. It understands the patterns that still need to be released, the lessons not yet learned, and the gifts waiting to be awakened. And from that vast karmic library, your spirit selected the exact moment, place, and energetic blueprint to re-enter this world. The last digit of your birth year is part of that blueprint. It is not a punishment. It's not fate carved in stone. It's a curriculum, a spiritual syllabus designed just for you. Some numbers challenge us with loneliness, like the introspective 7. Others stretch us with leadership, like the fiery 1. Some bring emotional weight, like the compassionate 6 or the ancient 9. But every single number also comes with gifts, intuition, creativity, resilience, depth, joy, vision, peace. When you begin to honor your number as part of your Dharma, not just something you have, but something you are, everything begins to change. You stop asking, why does this always happen to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? That shift is the beginning of awakening. Your soul didn't come to earth to cruise through comfort. It came to evolve, to stretch into its full potential. But that growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens through conscious living. That's the gift of knowing your number. It turns life from a series of random events into a map. A living, breathing mandala of meaning. And when you understand the numbers of others, your children, your friends, your partner, you don't just become wiser. You become kinder, more compassionate, less reactive. You see not just who they are now, but who they're here to become. In Buddhist philosophy, this is the essence of right view, seeing clearly, beyond illusion. And there is nothing more freeing than understanding your spiritual pattern, because once you see it, you're no longer trapped inside it. So take a moment to reflect. Think of the moments in your life that felt like turning points. The patterns that kept repeating. The relationships that tested you. The talents that came effortlessly. Can you feel the energy of your number in them? You didn't come here to be anyone else. You came to remember yourself. And now that you've remembered, what will you do with that truth? Part 11, You are the awakening key. You've made it to the end of this journey, but in truth, this is only the beginning. Now you carry something powerful. Not just information, but remembrance. A deeper sense of who you are. and why your soul chose this path. That final digit of your birth year? It was never just a number. It was a thread in your karmic fabric, woven in long before your first breath. And now, with eyes open, you can begin to walk through life on purpose, not on autopilot. Knowing your number won't make life perfect, but it will make it clearer. You'll begin to notice the patterns you used to repeat unconsciously. You'll soften toward the people you once judged. You'll understand that even your struggles were part of a sacred lesson plan. And most importantly, you'll see that you are not broken. You are becoming. The energy you carry is needed in this world, whether it's leadership, peacekeeping, truth-seeking, or love. Your presence is not a coincidence. It is a gift. So live your number. Live your Dharma. Not just for yourself, but for the people who are quietly watching you. The ones you may inspire without ever knowing it. And if this message touched something in you, share it. Like this video, so others searching for meaning can find it. Subscribe to Wisdom of the Dharma, where we explore deeper truths, week by week. And leave a comment below, tell us where you're watching from, and what number you carry. Let's build a global map of souls who are waking up. You are not here by mistake. You are not random. You are the key. The one your ancestors dreamed of. The one your future generations are waiting for. Now that you've remembered who you are, go live it. And until we meet again, may your path be steady. May your heart stay soft. And may your Dharma light the way for others.